Hello, welcome to Quarantine Kitchen, although I would like to share with you Comfort Kitchen. I really love to bake, and although I might not be the best baker, I find it brings me comfort, and also it's a way I can show people that I care. One of the recipes in my family that's very important to us that we celebrate everything with and use to cheer ourselves up and everyone else in our family with is banana bread. When I moved out, my mom gave to me a handwritten card of our family banana bread recipe and also this bowl to make the bananas in. So welcome to my comfort kitchen, and I hope this banana bread recipe finds you in a place where you can enjoy it too. The first thing you need to make banana bread is ripe bananas. Not too ripe that when you squish them, you're wondering if you're juicing them, but yet not hard so that when you look at them, they're all green. And then you want to put 3 bananas into a bigger bowl, and then you want to put a cup of white sugar over the top, and then mash it all together. Now, the hard part about banana bread, at least for me and my lack of patience, unfortunately, is that you have to wait 15 minutes from when you put the sugar on top of the bananas and mash them up to when you can do anything else with the bananas and your whole banana bread. It's usually at that point in time that I realized that I did not take the butter out of the fridge to get it to room temperature, so I grab it. Now, when growing up and I asked my mom why you had to wait 15 minutes, she would say so that all the love and care that you have for whoever you're sharing this meal with, this banana bread with, can seep into the bananas and settle there. So only think good thoughts. Now that I'm older and have moved out and have access to all sorts of other information, I know it's a science thing about breaking down the molecules, but it still feels nice to think that you're waiting those 15 minutes with positive things to think about whoever might be sharing this banana bread with you. And I think right now we can all agree that we need just a little bit more positivity in our everyday lives. So, and if you're one of those people who are fortunate enough to not need more positivity, I know that there's someone very close to you who does need that positivity. So, my banana bread bananas have been sitting for 15 minutes through the magic of, video. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it all into my mixer. You can do this with a hand mixer, and my mother prefers it to do it that way, with the old ones with the beaters instead of the stand mixer. But I love my mixer and use it at every opportunity. So you just want to make sure to get all of the sugar and all the bananas into the bottom of that bowl so that you have the basis of your banana bread in there. Once it's all in there on the bottom of your mixer, then you can start adding things. The way, the order in which you add things to your banana bread really does matter, only because you don't want to create a mess later on. So if I would go ahead right now and add the flour to my 3 bananas and 1 cup of regular sugar and try to mix that, it would be a bit of a mess. So I'm only going to add half of the 2 cups of white flour in. You can really use any type of flour, I guess, but we've always just used white flour, so I don't know, and fact check me on that one. I like to pre-mix it in before I turn on the mixer so that the banana mixture can get incorporated in, and then you can add the rest of your flour onto the bottom. You can't see because you're over there and not into the bowl, and my camera skills won't allow me to bring you with, that I created a hole in the middle of my flour banana sugar mixture that I'm going to insert my eggs into. One of my favorite movies, Sabrina, the old one, with Humphrey Bogart, She did a very good tutorial about how to crack eggs, and I wish I was that smooth at it, but eggs are super forgiving. You need 2 large eggs into your mixture. Don't mind the creaking, that's my cat. He's grumpy today. Okay, now once that is set, you can put the lid down and turn it on, and I just like to do just a little bit to get it all mixed. All right. Then you need a teaspoon. I like to use my half teaspoon for everything because I can never find a full teaspoon. Baking soda. Teaspoon of salt. And a teaspoon of baking powder. Once that's all in, you can close it and just let it little to get all of the dry stuff incorporated. It's important to let the dry stuff incorporate before you add your butter if you are messy like I am, because I have yet in my life been able to add butter to a regular flour mixture and not had to clean up a whole lot of flour later. I know that there are people with more kitchen skills than I who can do that, and those people are phenomenal. But the bread gets made and everything gets mixed. All set. For the butter, it's a half a cup of butter, and I like to dice my butter up into smaller pieces with a spatula and then dump them all in. Part of that is that I use the wrapper for the butter to butter my dish, and then I throw it all away. It just seems to work better that way. Also, if I had another ingredient that was sticky, I would use that butter to get it out of my measuring spoon. So these are all set in there. And then you just want to turn it on and mix it all up. Once the consistency is like this, can you see? Once the consistency is like this and rolls and there aren't really big lumps anywhere, it is time to decide if you want to add nut meat of some kind into it. You can add half a cup of any kind of nut that you would like, or you can, sorry, notifications, or you can leave that out, or what I've started to do, and please no one rat me out to my mother because I'm not sure she would approve, is started adding chocolate chips to it. Just a few, about 1/4 a cup, to give it just a little flavor. If I had walnuts or chopped nuts of any kind in the house, I would have added them right now, but I don't. So we're just going to add those, give it a little mix, then we're all set. Now, during this time, I would also suggest preheating your oven to 350 so that when it goes in for anywhere from 55 minutes to an hour, you're all set to go in. I've done that step, but my oven top looks despicable at the moment, so I'm not going to show you. But have my mixer, I'm going to get all of that off and in to the bowl. You can get 2 loaf pans worth of banana bread from this recipe. I just like and prefer to use dark ones than glass ones for banana bread because it tastes different. There's all kinds of research and science on it, and for me it boils down to I like the taste of these better because it comes out a little less soggy, which I learned after I invested in some very nice glass loaf pans. So if you have an idea of what tastes best in glass loaf pans, please don't hesitate to send me an email about that. So you just want to make sure to divide the batter up so half of it goes into your greased 9 by 13 loaf pan, and half of it goes into your other loaf pan. And once that's done and your oven is preheated and all set, you can put it in, and it cooks for, I usually set the timer for 45 minutes and then check it at that point, but it's never done before 55 minutes, and usually about 65 minutes is what it turns out to have a completely cooked, but yet not burnt loaf of banana bread. I'm going to go ahead and put this all in one, even though it will make it take longer to bake through, just because it's all here and it all fits. All right. Banana bread is one of those things that almost everyone has an opinion on for a recipe, and everyone has a favorite way to make banana bread, but I hope sharing a bit of how my family makes banana bread and enjoys it was of interest to you. Thanks for watching. I hope you can add a little positivity to someone else's life, and thank you for joining me in my comfort kitchen. Thanks. Bye.